just left Mexico, where the president attended the G20 summit. G20 summit focuses on economic issues, and the number one economic issue in the world right now is the Eurozone crisis. That was probably the number one topic of conversation in all the meetings that the president had, both with all the leaders of the G20 and then in sidebar meetings with European leaders and other leaders like the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, to focus on this issue of what steps the Europeans are taking to deal with the crisis that they face right now. That was the number one issue, and it was as the meetings convened, we learned that the elections in Greece had turned out relatively favorably, given the volatile situation there, and that was certainly helpful. The numbers, the second biggest issue, without question, was the fact that this was the opportunity that President Obama had for his first president-to-president meeting with newly elected Russian President Vladimir Putin. President Obama spent the last 3+ years in a very cooperative relationship with President Putin's predecessor, President Medvedev. This was an opportunity for President Obama to sit down with President Putin and in a 2-hour meeting that focused on a lot of issues where Russia and the United States agree, and a number of issues where we disagree. I think we can say that it was a constructive and productive meeting, and both presidents remain committed to continuing to develop the relationship in a positive direction. Syria was a focus. What's unfolding in Syria is tragic. The brutal assault that the leader there, Bashar al-Assad, has been perpetrating on his own people, the thousands and thousands of innocent Syrians who have been killed by the Assad regime. That was a topic of discussion. The Russians and the United States, we've disagreed with the Russians on that issue, but it was an important discussion to have, and we're hoping to continue to work with the Russians, as well as our international partners, to bring about a political transition in Syria that the Syrian people so desperately deserve.